Hey everybody, I'm Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T talking with Ricardo Lamas, the bully who is taking on Darren Elkins in UFC. Are they calling it UFC Santiago? I know I should know this, but I think they are, right?
Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires, that's right. It's Santiago Ponzinibbio. That's right. So listen, this is a
right.
good matchup. I like this matchup. Darren Elkins is a tough guy. What were your first thoughts when this fight was offered to you?
Darren is, somebody that I'm definitely familiar with. He's kind of from around the same area. We've trained out of mutual gyms. We've trained together in the past before. And I know exactly how tough he is. So I definitely put in the work. And I'm expecting a war on Saturday night for sure.
Yeah, the thing about Darren, it's interesting. If you look at his record, a lot of decisions on there, right? So he's got some submissions, but he's got a lot of decisions. And whenever we talk about Darren Elkins, I mean, he has the damage, written on him, but he's incredibly durable and he's incredibly difficult to get rid of. I mean, do you think that's a fair assessment?
Definitely a fair assessment. He's just one of those guys that can take a beating and keep coming, and he has a lot of come from behind victories. And that just shows, how big of a heart he has. You can't break that guy. So you literally have to put him out, or you just got to stay sharp the entire fight. But I know all that, and I definitely prepared for it.
Yeah, so what is your plan of attack in this one? You have great wrestling. Darren seems to do the best on the ground. I guess I kind of feel like when he has gotten victories, I know he's gotten some knockouts, but it is by submission more. So is it kind of the fight that you think you're better suited to stay on the feet, or do you want to challenge your wrestling against his?
I think I'll be comfortable wherever the fight goes. I think as long as I stay sharp and technical, don't get lured into a brawl, I think I should be okay. So... but that's hard to say against a guy like Darren. He keeps coming at you and he turns it into a brawl. So it's going to be a good one for the fans to watch, I think.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say about him. Like, I always wonder, I feel like I should ask him about it. Like, in his camps, what does he prepare for versus what he gets on fight night? Do you know what I mean? Because, like, some people, I think, live in that turmoil, live in that craziness. And I wonder if it's like that in his camps or not. I mean, so how do you prepare for that, right? Like, so how do you, on your end, I know you only can prepare for who you are really, but what kind of prep have you done? What kind of sparring have you done to prepare for a guy like that who can literally take so much damage?
Well, I'm the same way. I keep coming the whole time, the whole 15 minutes too. So it's not like I had to change anything up to prepare for this.
Right.
And mostly during my camps, I like to focus on getting better myself and not really adapt to the style of my opponent. I want them to adapt to me. So there's only so much you can control in this fight game, but your own game is something that you are in control of. So I'm constantly trying to improve on that. And, like I said, make my opponent adapt to me and not the other way around.
So does that mean that you don't really spend too much time watching footage?
I do, yeah, but I don't overdo it. I'm aware of the tendencies, but it's not something that I'm obsessing about.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're there, but really I just need to focus on my own game and bring out the best Ricardo Lamas on fight night that I possibly can. I feel if I do that, if I perform to the best of my abilities, that I could beat absolutely anybody on this planet.
So what do you watch your own tape after your own fights? Are you the kind of guy that goes in and does Monday morning quarterbacking and looks for any, the things that were very successful or the things that weren't quite working for you in a fight?
Of course. Yeah. You have to know when you make mistakes so you can fix them. And you have to know what you did well so that you know what works. And I definitely do a little of both, and I'll analyze my fights after the fact. And, it's a big tool that we've used all the way, back in high school when I was wrestling. We would rewatch our wrestling matches with the coaches. Mm-hmm. This is what you did well. This is what you need to work on. So this is what you should be concentrating on this week during practice. So I'm used to doing that. I've been doing it for a long time. And I've kept it as a part of my training tools in the sport of MMA.
So with that said, and I'm not sure, it's always tough when you talk to fighters on fight week and you bring up something about them having a loss. And I never want to kind of put those things in somebody's head. But that said, you did drop a fight, and I'm curious what how you use that, because is this the first time you've ever lost 2 in a row?
Yeah, this is the first time I've lost 2 in a row in my career.
Right.
But I don't let it discourage me. I keep my nose to the ground, and I keep grinding every day in training. I know that this sport is full of ups and downs, full of valleys and mountains, and when you're on top, you're not going to be there forever, and when you're on bottom, you're not going to be there forever either. So I just got to keep rolling with it, keep improving, and keep believing in myself.
Well, and that said, Josh Emmett didn't make weight for your fight, and we know that, and I'm not trying to say that that's a strategy for him, but we do know that a lot of the people, more so than the ones, it was something like 8-2 or 9-2 now about the heavier fighters winning their fights. So to me, that one has an asterisk on it. But your last fight, I think, was a little bit more difficult. Your opponent has beaten Mirsad Bektic, the one that you dropped your last fight to. So did you see anything in Darren's fight with Mirsad that you, I don't know, could use against Darren?
That was just one of those things. Mirsad was pretty much in control, dominating the entire fight. And then the last round, like I said, Darren's one of these guys that doesn't break mentally or physically. So Mirsad let up for 1 second. Darren took advantage and ended up finishing the fight. It was a great job on Derek's part for staying composed that whole time and not breaking mentally. And that shows how strong of a heart he has. Using that against him, like I said, the only thing that I could learn from that and maybe not outwork myself, trying to put Darren away, because I know how tough he is. I need to stay technical. I need to pick my shots wisely, and not burn myself out and not punch myself out trying to put him away.
So, you are the co-main event and you are down in Argentina. What does that mean to you? I always like to ask people about, it's a new territory for the UFC, and you always feel like they want to put great fights together in a new territory, especially to get the fans excited. So it's kind of like, I feel like when that call comes and they say, hey, Bully, you want to go down and do this? That's them saying, even though you have, things haven't been going your way the last couple of fights, we know you deliver, right? I mean, do you feel that as a sense of them entrusting that you deliver the right kind of thing, and then that actually inspires you to go out there and put on an even better show?
Yeah, it definitely does. I'm honored to be a part. I'm honored to be a part of this event, the first event in Argentina. This is my first time in South America, so I'm excited to go and experience the culture and experience the people there. And every fight, it doesn't matter where it is, I always want to put on a show for the fans. So that's just the type of fighter that I am. And, I'm going to show up on fight night, and people will not be disappointed.
And how good is your Spanish? I feel like it's pretty good, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's good. Just like anything, it could always get better, but I've definitely come a long way with that over the years. Coming from a household where both my parents spoke Spanish, it was like customary. I don't know why, but they would talk to us in Spanish and we'd answer them in English all the time.
Okay.
So growing up, I understood it very well, but I didn't really start using it that much till I got to college. And then also what helped me a lot more was training down in Miami, which is pretty much like a foreign country down there anyway. Like you walk into a gas station and they just start speaking Spanish to you, whether you do or don't. So that helped a lot. Language is one of those things where if you don't use it, you lose it. So when I started doing promo for the UFC in Mexico, that helped me out a ton too, because I just had to jump into it and kind of relearn it all. But I'm comfortable with it.
It's very cool. It's very cool. I would love to. I mean, that's a beautiful place. I don't know what the fans are going to be like down there, but I hear it's a beautiful city. Ever since I knew I was going to talk to you today, I just have the Evita soundtrack going through my head.
Yeah. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
That's
maybe I'll grab the mic and do a little karaoke after the fight.
You should. That'd be pretty cool. Question for you. Did you watch the Korean zombie Yair Rodriguez fight last night?
I did.
Okay.
My brain, I can't comprehend what happened, but that was awesome. That was a great fight and an even greater ending. Nobody saw that coming. Yeah,
that's what I was going to ask you, because we were in the studio. I had to go on the air right after, and we were literally almost speechless. Like, I don't know if that's happened to me before. It's a very rare occasion. But we literally couldn't process what we saw because I had Zombie winning that fight. You know what I mean? And it gets down to the end, and they're high-fiving, and I'm thinking of you, and they're there. I'm like, are you guys going to point to the middle? Like, what's going to happen? And they're kind of high-fiving. And then I was like, well, I just don't even know I don't even know how to think about it.
I don't even know how you practice a move like that.
Right.
Like, that's, it was crazy. You know, you're not even looking, just boop.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It really was. It really was. You know, and it's funny because the featherweight division right now, it's really seems so hot. People talk about the lightweights being the toughest, but it does seem right now that your division is the most. Yeah, seems to be the most competitive. Do you think so?
I think so. Yeah. You know, with the featherweights, you get a nice mix of speed and power, and we put on great fights, high pace, and a lot of action.
Yeah. Do you think you'll stay there for the rest of your career, or do you ever consider thinking about going up or down?
I would never say never. You know, right now I'm comfortable with featherweight. You know, the cut sucks, but I had a lot more fun when I was fighting at lightweight. You know, I was able to eat whatever I wanted Friday through Sunday, and then get back on my diet on Monday. But it's all right. You know, it forces me to stay healthier.
That's nice. Well, I want to ask you a couple things about your gym. I know you have a gym in Naperville, it is, right?
Correct.
Right, a UFC gym. So I'm curious, Ricardo, if I came in off the street and I wanted to train UFC, where do I start?
If you want to train UFC?
Yeah, I want to train UFC. I want to roll up to your gym and I want to train UFC. So where do I start?
Find the nearest basketball court and start dribbling a basketball, because you're not going to be any good at UFC if you want to train that. Listen, first thing you got to do is pick up like MMA for Dummies book and read that, because it's not called training UFC. It's MMA, guys. You don't go train NBA, okay? Please. Jesus Christ. That's like, I hate it. And you don't understand how many times it happens. How many times. I used to train UFC. Do you do UFC? It's horrible.
It's funny.
I don't know where these people are getting.
It's so funny. I had to ask, but yeah, in general, do you like being a gym owner? Is it a rewarding career?
Yeah, it is definitely rewarding, especially the UFC gym platform, because we like to help people reach their health and fitness goals. It's not necessarily like, you know, 95% of our members will never step in a cage.
Right.
With my name tied to the gym, we do have people that come in that are interested in competing.
Yep.
I run the BJJ program out of there. I run the MMA classes out of there. So there are opportunities to learn directly from me and to learn how to fight, how to do UFC. So there's a little bit for everybody.
Cool. Very cool. I love it. I love it. Well, in House of Family, you got 2 kids now and a chatty bird.
Yeah. She won't shut up. I'm sorry. I do this to you every time. It's either in Miami and she's like out there squawking, but I'm in the basement, and that's where we moved her cage down, because if she's up there, we hear this all the time. So
it's okay. I like cilantro. She's sweet. She's sweet. Cool. So you're ready for the trip? I don't know how long it's going to take you. Roughly how long of a trip is it for you to get down there?
It's like a 12-hour traveling day. So I leave tomorrow at about 6 p.m. I have a layover in Houston, and then I go from Houston straight to Argentina, and I get to Argentina like Tuesday morning or Tuesday early afternoon, something like that.
And does that affect, listen to her, she heard us talking about her. Does that...
She's laughing at me listening to the trip that I have to take tomorrow.
Totally. Are you okay with you know, getting on weight on the road? Because I feel like, you know, last time you had one fight in Winnipeg, which isn't so bad, but, you know, traveling all the way down there, I know a lot of time people get concerned about the time in the airplane, and they swell and the this and the that. Is that a concern for you?
No, not at all. My weight is actually really well right now. I'll be good. I'm gonna be perfect.
Cool. Very nice.
I'm a pro at this.
Nice. Well, Ricardo, you always put on a great fight. It is never boring. Really looking forward to watching you and Darren Elkins throw down at UFC Buenos Aires. So best of luck to you.
You got it down. Very good. Thank you a lot for having me, Karyn. We'll talk to you again.
All right, cool. See you later.
Bye.
Oh, hi, cilantro.
Yeah,
hey, girl.
So Cilantro was trying to holler over there at you.
I love it.